I think we need to get to some Ja Morant. What you say about that?
Well, let's talk about it, because I mean, he did. What's going on, Anthony Estrada? What's up, my brother? Thank you for coming on up in here into the show. But I I don't know if you any watched when it used to be the Darian Hopkins Sports Show, right? And I had a different crew on here at the time when it comes to Ja Morant. And I like I said, I kept it 100. I kept it real, and I said that Ja Morant is a fake thug. He was never brought up in the streets, and he was never brought up in a hood where he had to, these gun gestures and stuff like that. We all know his backstory, where he was on the internet with these guns twice, the
Twice.
majority of the year, due to that, due to those two situations. Now he's doing the actual gun like sign or whatever you call it. But my problem with this is, why you keep doing it after you got warned? Like, why you keep playing yourself every single time you get back into good graces with the fans, and you want to do that, knowing that you have that reputation from what you did on social media. But before I deep dive into it, I would love to hear what you got to say about it, because I would love to hear your side of it.
Man, I'll tell you like this, okay? I understand that these players, they don't necessarily sign up to be role models. They don't sign up for that. But guess what? That's what you are, whether you want to be it or not. And I'm going to let you talk about it from a league standpoint, but I'm going to talk about it from our cultural and our community standpoint.
Oh, go.
Ja Morant, your people, your team, or whoever, I need y'all to listen up. And let me do this, D, because I want this. I want all the attention to myself.
Go ahead.
While I go on this soliloquy.
All right.
So as Darian just alluded to about the history of things with Ja Morant, bro, I'm gonna say this. Number one, you cannot, and The Rock means you cannot embarrass the league the way that you did. That's all I'm gonna say about that part of it. But from a cultural and of our community standpoint, especially in this climate that we are in, you cannot be so socially tone deaf to where you do what got you in trouble 2 years ago. That cost you, and who knows, the injury may have been some sort of karma that you had to miss all of that time. Bro, you got kids yourself. You have a wife yourself. You have people on your team that I'm sure they have kids themselves. And that's just the people that's in your circle. But the people that's outside of your circle, the kids that are outside of your circle that are wearing your jerseys on the playground, the kids that are in the gym that's trying to practice flying through the air the way that you do, they are the ones that are the most impressionable because they are watching you. They are patterning their game after yours. They are saying, yo, Ja Morant is my favorite player. So what type of signal are you sending to these kids who, whether you like it or not, they are looking up to you because of your basketball prowess? So what I need you to understand, sir, nephew, son, little brother, whatever I can call you that can that can make you understand. And I'm just an old man with a mic that has lived a little bit of life. But I can tell you this much. You ain't the first person to go down this road, and you won't be the last. But what you could do is be the last. It'd be the last time that you do it. It could be the last time that you do it, because truth be told, you're going to get some disciplinary action from the league based on this. So now what do you want people, what do you want kids to say about you? Because I don't care what you say. I don't care what any athlete says about role models and all of that. It is going to be a part of your legacy from now until the time you retire and beyond that. Do you want your legacy to be, yo, Ja Morant was a great player. He played above the rim. He did some stuff that nobody's ever seen before, but he did have that time. You don't want to be the but he had that time when it comes to your legacy. And on the court, to do this while your team is mired in a losing streak, while your team is trying to battle for a position to avoid the play-in tournament, and you wanna incite that team that you were playing against, Golden State with Draymond Green and Steph Curry. Those dudes they have four things you don't have, Ja Morant, and that's four championships. That's what you should be thinking about instead of the gun salute that you did pointing it towards them. Now, I can understand, Darion, if he was even pointing it towards the sky or maybe towards the ground, but not at the team the way that he did. But the best way to not put yourself in position is to stay out of those positions that can put you in a position that will be compromising to the site. That's all I got to say about it, brother.
You sound like me a couple years ago. You really sound like me a couple years ago, and no, you don't even got to put it up there because I said what I said. I said what I said. Ja Morant is a fake thug that's trying to fit into the reality of his peers, which is not really his peers.
Mm-hmm.
You're just fitting into the reality. We all know we heard from your father. We heard from so many other people in your community that Ja Morant wasn't about that. So now, because you have money, you want to be about that. You want to fit in. No, you could have in the last 2 years, you could have been the face of the NBA with the style of play that you have. And now the style of play that you have, it did keep you up the court as well. Don't get me wrong, it did. But the way the kids look up to you when you first came into the league, you did this to yourself with these gun salutes. But the thing about it is the NBA has warned him warned him the first time, and then you come back out and you do it again. That means you're disrespecting the league, you're disrespecting the brand, you're disrespecting the business. Because at the end of the day, it's more than just in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Money's going to be coming out of your pocket at the end of the day because you want to do the stupidity stuff and do these gun salutes. Now, in the NFL, they want to take away this. Now that I don't understand because it's a celebration that they've been doing for years in the NFL. But this don't have nothing to do with that, but it kind of does. And the reason why I say that is because you're doing this, or you're just doing this, giving a gesture, and you're just disrespecting the brand while the game is going on.
Yeah.
So as me, if I was a father and I had boys and I seen stuff like that, I would have told my son, you don't look up to a man like that. Because Ja Morant, understand, he's still young. I get it.
He ain't that young.
He ain't that young, but you already had 2 strikes by being on social media with these guns. And then you come out and you do these gun salutes. You're not in a gang. Like, bro, you're not from the streets. Your father said it itself. Like, I'm from the streets. Willie probably came from the streets. Don't know. I don't know everybody's background, but I just know mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I know mine, and we don't condone that in Philadelphia. Is are you about it or are you going to be about it? We don't do no gun salute crap over here. Are you going to do it or are you not going to do it? So when it comes to my city, we don't condone that. You see, he wouldn't have did that in Philadelphia. They probably would have booed him off. They probably would have booed him out the arena, out of Wells Fargo.
Yeah, because in Philadelphia they boo Santa Claus.
They boo more than Santa Claus. They do snowballs they do snowballs while he was on the bus. Philly is disrespectful like that. We really are. So like with Ja Morant, like you just got to get it together, bro. Like you just making PR look so bad for the Grizzlies. Even though you lost they fired your coach, but it's just bad PR at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's bad PR. It's terrible. It's terrible. And I think you're from Oakland. Oakland, like, come on, bro. You lived in Oakland, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I lived there as a youngin, so I've seen some things. But you from that. You from there.
Well, I mean, I'm like you. I was a youngster too. I've been back several times, and of course, I still keep in contact with the folks that's out there. But still, like you, it was long. It doesn't matter to me how long you have been in a certain place. It's what you were exposed to while you were there.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've seen a lot. Seen a lot, especially in the 90s era in California. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a lot. Ja Morant, you haven't seen nothing. Your father make sure you wasn't exposed to that.
And you know what it kind of reminds me of, D? Michael Irvin, the playmaker himself.
Okay.
His son can rap. His son is a rap star. I won't say a star, but he's a rapper.
Right.
And he talks about all of these things from the street. And Michael Irvin said, son, what are you talking about? You grew up in a 20,000 square foot house in a gated community. I mean, it's, and
we just come from an era. We come from an era now where you have to fabricate to make it. You have to be this fake gangsters or these fake thugs, or you got to say stuff in your raps just for credibility. It's sad. It's sad because back then, if you want to go far back, we could go back to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, called The Message. The message was real. It came from the streets.
And even
what's going on in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
And even after that, when you had two other songs that came out, one from the West Coast, another one from the East Coast. The one from the East Coast was Self-Destruction. The one from the West Coast was We're All in the Same Gang. And if you weren't in any gang or any affiliated criminal organization,
right,
dude, what are you doing? As a matter of fact, I can't remember who it was, but it was a blood from California. I want to say from Carson, California,
right,
which is LA area.
Yeah.
And he was talking to Ja Morant about this very same thing and was trying to explain to Ja, look, man, you don't want this smoke. You can't be out here throwing up blood signs, acting like you part of the Bloods and you not really part of the Bloods, and then somebody catch you and it's going to be a problem. Because they don't have no problem with knocking off celebrities, athletes, none, any of the like. They have no problem, because if they take that as a blatant disrespect to everything that they believe in. So my guy, man.
Just because you got a little bit of money doesn't mean you was not brought up in a gang.
And I look at all those tattoos he got, man. I'm like, all right, how many of those tattoos are quote unquote gang affiliated?
Probably none. Probably none.
No, I beg to differ. I bet you there's more than one. I bet you there's more than one.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised though. I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I'm just at a point with Ja Morant. I'm just like, I used to be a fan of him when he came out of Marquette. He was one of those star-studded guys that came out of Marquette and put that team back on the map. We haven't seen Marquette have that type of notoriety since Dwayne Wade. So I liked the Ja Morant. I liked him when he got drafted. He kept his head down and he worked hard and he brought himself up to stardom. And now you get this stardom, and now you want to flip the script. It just doesn't work that way for me. It just doesn't. It doesn't work that way for me. Like, you just flip the script. You feel like you don't care about the kids no more. And in my mind, the kids can like you said earlier, you don't consider yourself a role model, but these kids consider you a role model. You don't have to say it yourself, like, oh, I'm Ja Morant and I'm a role model. No, you don't have to say that. But kids is buying your sneakers. Kids are buying your jersey. Kids are buying your brand. They're buying anything they see on social media that you're promoting. They're going to go out and get because they are a fan of you. You are a brand outside of the NBA. And once you get off that court, you are a brand. So
Well,
you have to treat yourself as a brand when it comes to these kids.
no, you're a brand 24/7 because it's the brand that took the hit when he was not on the court, but in a club and then in a car showing the guns. So
Facts. You're
so
right about
so
that.
so you are a brand 24/7. But you can't dictate as a brand because and my wife had to tell me this. She said you just by you being who you are, you have to be careful of certain things that you put in or that you tweet or you post on social media because you are a brand. You may not look at yourself as a brand, but you are a brand. And you know what? She's 100% right.
I had to learn that as well. Definitely had to learn that as well. Some things you just like now that you get into this industry, like any industry, no matter if it's what we doing right here, no matter what we're doing, no matter what somebody else is doing, if you are a brand and you have an LLC, you got to move a certain way. Everything can't be posted the way you post on social media before you wasn't a brand. You
Right.
can't post all the crazy stuff. You really have to be cautious about what you post and what you do while posting it.